I'm so pleased to welcome the Shadow Foreign Secretary to Broxtowe for the first of many times, hopefully. Please give a warm Broxtowe welcome to Emily Thornberry.
I am so pleased and so proud to be here today with you. I'm so proud to be with the people that I'm appearing on the stage with. You know, we have a great deal in common. And the biggest thing that we have in common is that we are Labour. We are Labour to our core, and we're Labour to the tips of our fingerprints. But we would rather die than join any other party, and we would never think of joining the 8 people who have decided to abandon Labour and to cuddle up to Tories on the benches in Parliament. We would never do that. But you know, those 8 MPs also have something in common with each other. Now, be civil. Be civil. What they have in common is percentages. Let me tell you this, right? Every single one of those 8 seats in the 2017 election got a bigger percentage of the Labour vote than ever had been seen before. And 7 out of 8 of those seats had never had a larger Labour vote before. Now, why do we think that is? And if we were to add the votes, the additional votes of all those 8 seats, there were 65,000 more people who voted Labour in those 8 seats. Now, why is that? Why is that?
It must have been really good.
Do we think that it's all about them? Do we think so? I mean, you know, maybe Gavin Shuker got himself a new haircut. And maybe that's why he got 10,000 more votes in 2017 than he did in 2015 in Luton. Maybe Mike Gates got himself some new glasses. And that's why he got 10,000 more votes in Ilford than he had done in 2015. Or maybe Chucker had been to a new tailor. And maybe that's why he thinks he got 12,000 more votes in Streatham than he had 2 years before. Or Joan Ryan in Enfield, who had lost the seat before, who had won it just with a majority of 1,000 and now has a majority of 10,000. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. We changed our leadership. We changed our policies. We inspired hundreds of thousands of new people to get involved in the Labour Party. And we inspired millions more people to vote Labour. To vote Labour. And they now have the cheek to reject our new manifesto, our new activists and our new leader. And when it was our manifesto and our activists and our leader that gave them the huge majorities that they now have in their seats today. Those seats that they have betrayed by their actions. And I've got something to say about that. I've got something to say about that. We reject their diversity, the way in which they're trying to divide us. We reject it. We reject their devotion to austerity. We reject the way in which they are colluding with the Tories like Anna Soubry, who we should be defeating, not cuddling up to. We reject their decision to squat on the benches in seats that were won as Labour seats. We reject their decision to continue to do that and to refuse to oppose the Tories, which is what they're supposed to be there to be doing. But you know, actually, I love independence sometimes. I'm telling you, I do. You know, let me tell you a story. So in 1981, there was an MP, his name was Michael O'Halloran, and he was the MP for a seat, a little seat you might have heard of, called Islington North. And he defected from the Labour Party and he joined the SDP. Well, they didn't like him, so he got chucked out of that. So he stood as an independent. And so in 1983, guess what happened? We got ourselves a real Labour candidate to stand in Islington North. And that real Labour candidate crushed the Tories, crushed the SDP, crushed the Independents by 11,000 votes. votes. And if our new independent splitters have got the guts to have by-elections, to stand for election and put themselves to the people, we will crush them again. Because people want real Labour candidates and they want real Labour MPs. And I'll say something else about real Labour candidates. I want to say something about my friends and our leader, our next Prime Minister, Jeremy Corbyn. Now people say, how can he go around complaining about rebels when he was such a rebel himself? On the face of it, it sounds like a good point. But actually, the truth is this, and it's the truth about Jeremy, and it's the truth about John McDonnell, and it's the truth about Diane. They never split. They stayed in the party and they fight their corner. They fought their corner even when they had the ultimate test of the Iraq War. They didn't walk away. They stayed in the party and they fought for what they believed in. And why did they do that? Because they knew that a Labour Party divided means that we continue to have a Tory government on a permanent basis, and we cannot afford that. We cannot afford that in this country. You know, I used to think that Chris Leslie and Chuka Umunna were just naive. That they were naive in the way in which they were dividing the party. They were naive. They didn't realise that they were continuing to keep the Tory party in power. But I realise now that I was wrong. They just don't care. They don't care. They would rather see a Tory government than a real socialist Labour government. They would rather support the politics of austerity, the draining of our public services of the sort of money that they need. They would rather continue to see the bitterness and the appalling unfairness of universal credit. And they would then do anything to stand up against it, which is what their job is. And, you know, let's forget the betrayal of the Labour Party that amounts to. This is a betrayal of the British people. And this is a betrayal of the people of Broxtowe. We have to stay united and say to the independent group, we will not let you divide us. We will not let you distract us. We will not let you stop us winning seats like Broxtowe, because we are the future and you are the past. We are the many and you are the few. Just have the guts to call some by-elections, and we will stand real Labour candidates against you, and we will win. And we will win. Remember, comrades, we are the future and they are the past. Stand tall, stand firm, be proud. Our future is coming, and it is coming soon.